What up, y'all? Welcome to Different Views podcast. Uh, we appreciate all the people tuning in to the last couple episodes, liking, subscribing to our YouTube, and comment on the videos. Man, we really appreciate it. And please continue to give us feedback on people y'all want to see us have on and topics y'all want to hear discussed on the podcast. So again, we really appreciate all the feedback we getting. Today we want to just have another motivational Monday. Give y'all a little inspiration today on life experiences. Everything in life isn't able to be controlled. Um, a lot of things are just about how you respond and getting the experiences, how you learn stuff and grow in life. Um, you want to get a little inspiration or a little insight from you, Dejan, on like how you feel about life experiences.
I feel like, and with me being 24, I feel like I've had so many life experiences with just, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, like with myself. And I think that's like the coolest part about life experiences. And at first, like when you're in that experience of, that adversity or whatever it may be, or if it's an experience that you don't want to be involved with, like
Mm.
you really discover who you really are. You really learn about yourself. Like, you could say like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, but like you don't really understand and know who you really are until like you got pressure on you, until you're in that adverse situation. And that's one thing like I've started to learn, like when I'm in an experience or circumstances that I don't want to be in, like, okay, what can I learn from this? Like, what can I really, you feel me? Who really am I? Like, and that's one thing I've been learning a lot about myself with that. And then for the experiences, the good ones, bro, like I'm enjoying them and I'm living in the moment of them. Sometimes like I reach a level of success or achieve a goal and it'd be like, all right, what's next? But it'd be like, nah, like I learned to like appreciate that moment and appreciate that goal and that moment that I'm in with that experience. And bro, I've learned that you have to get experiences within life. Like I used to be a person that a while ago that was hesitant to start something or do something, but now I'm a person that I jump into something. And even if I don't know how to do it perfectly, I'm gonna still jump in it and learn how to do it. And I think that's the thing, like with people, like people are scared to fail and scared of other people's opinions. And that's one thing I've been learning, just along the way of life. I don't really care no more about like what people think, like because people gonna have something to say, and really like people's opinions don't matter to me no more. Like, in a extent they do of like the positive ones, or if I need feedback from what I'm doing. But for me not to do something because I'm worried about somebody's opinions, I don't let that affect me no more. And I think people need to work on that as well if you are a person who struggles with that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people definitely struggle with um being scared to fail. Like you said, that shit, excuse me. I feel like there's not one person that doesn't have any like hesitancy or just thinking about failing, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got some people that just like go into it and all that, but you still think about it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I could possibly fail, but it doesn't scare you. I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
It's like some people think about it and then it pushes them to like not do it, or they're just scared so they don't really fully do it, so they're not really giving their all when they go into it. And then I be seeing stuff like when people talk about uh it's more people are scared to be great. People are more scared of their potential and then failing or something like that. Like rather than just failing, like they're scared to just be that great athlete or that great banker or that great lawyer or whatever. Like people are more scared to be great. That's why I always say that shit all the time, because I be hearing it. And like people talk on it. It's like you just scared to be great. You have all these gifts. You have everything to be great, but you don't want to do it or put in the work to do it. And it's like you just really scared to be great rather than being scared to fail.
And
So
that'd be so crazy, bro. Like, and people too, like, and I'm a person too. People be scared to ask for help, or bro, I am the first person, bro. If I don't understand something, I'ma ask.
yeah.
And bro, like people, and I'm the one too. Like, if somebody tell me some advice, bro, and if it's something useful, bro, I'm putting it towards whatever I got going on, bro. And
Right.
I'm always asking you questions too. I don't be caring if it's something I don't know. Like, I'm not about to stand there and be clueless on what it is not is, like what I don't know. So it'd be like, bro, people got to ask questions and don't be scared to. And I think sometimes people are scared of the response of rejection. And if people do like give you a response like, oh well, but if people are giving you negative responses, I just feel like you're asking the wrong person. Don't stop asking questions. You're just asking the wrong person at that time, bro. Like that's all that is. You need to just I think people too, like, you need to shift and surround yourself around people who value you and value your thoughts and value your skill and just who you are as a person. I think that's the problem too. And bro, I think the biggest thing, people just fear one, like you said, of just being great, and bro, people's opinions. Like, I think that's so
Yeah.
crazy to me. Like, people fear what other people say more than they fear God. Like, you
Right.
more worried about what somebody think than God thinking. Like, bro, that's why I be like, people's mindsets are just fried, bro. But
Yeah.
people just really need to start being great. And if you are working towards something too, like, keep doing it, like, keep going. I think, like, sometimes people, and I'm one too that puts too much pressure on myself too sometimes about certain things, but it's like I'm at where I need to be. And there may
Yeah.
be areas that I need to go harder on, but it's like I can't beat myself up about that because there's only so
Yeah.
much I can do within my control, I say. I
Yeah.
learned two things out of my control. You know, we hear that all the time. Don't be upset about things you can't control. Like, that's just true. Like, all you're gonna do is just drive yourself nuts too. Like, I think that's the
Right.
other thing that people, you know, should add and remember that, remind themselves about.
Yeah. And then, like you said, people be fearing those opinions, bro. And it's like you gotta just not worry about the shit. Like, if somebody's around you being negative, like, focus on the positive shit because you got people supporting you. Like I said before, on a different podcast, like, I used to feed into like the negative comments on like Instagram or whatever, like just wanting to clap back on people. But it's like I got hella support too. And so it's like, why not just focus on that? Like, and I remember the example I gave was like I was I started replying to people who posted positive comments on my shit, and then right under it, like, you would see somebody like talking shit like, "Oh, you suck," or "You a first round bust," or whatever, and I just wouldn't reply to that. I would just
Yeah.
only reply to the fans that was like being positive, and then like the people who was being negative, I feel like it slowed down. Like, I feel like I really rarely get any negative comments on my shit anymore. Like, if I comment on, like, so say like the NFL, if I comment something on like an NFL post, there are people be saying like positive shit, but then there's people that be like saying like negative shit or whatever. But I feel like it's been less ever since I stopped feeding into it, or it's just like I don't notice it because I
Yeah,
stopped
I was about to
feeding
say,
into it.
and I feel
You know
like
what
it's a
I'm
sense of just not noticing that shit no more, bro.
saying? Yeah,
Like,
I'll slide and I'll read and I'll just be like, all right, they talking shit, whatever, and then I'll reply to the fan that's like saying something positive, like, wish you well, hope you're doing well, whatever,
yeah,
hope you get back, whatever, something like that. But then I noticed for real, like, for sure on my posts alone, like, nobody really ever is negative anymore. Like, any negative comments is always just positive people, like hella people I don't even know. So it's just like I fed into that, and I feel like the people who were being negative with my comments, they just felt stupid because I wasn't even replying to them. And
man.
I would reply to a comment because I know they'd be checking. They'll go back and check. I reply to a comment like right above theirs, like, and they like, damn, he just ignoring my comment. Like, yeah, I am. And then I started to see like the positive fans talking shit to the people that was being negative, like, man,
Getting
you
on the
weird, or
ass.
like just getting on them, and I won't even have to say nothing. Like, so yeah, definitely just like feeding into the positive more than the negative. I wanted to like go back to what you said about asking questions. Like, don't be scared to ask questions, like, from anybody. And I was thinking, like, man, people be scared to ask questions, one, to younger people, because it's like they feel like I don't even know what the feeling is because I don't ever feel it. But like, I can ask the person that's younger than me, I can ask a kid, like, what they think or like whatever. I can ask a person older than me or somebody that ain't in my field, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
that never played football or that just watches football, you know what I'm saying? You can ask opinions or ask questions on shit like that or whatever. But I was gonna bring up like how I asked you about like your speed training and shit. Like, I've been through hella speed training like at different places on that shit, but it's like I never did this shit, and you've done this shit more than me, you know what I'm saying? And you know what's worked for the athletes that you had. So that's why I was asking you those questions. But it's like some people will just look at it like, oh, like, he ain't trained this player, or he ain't trained NFL
yeah,
players, or he ain't do all this or whatever, or like he played D line, so he don't know nothing about speed. It's like, nah, bro, like, don't be scared to ask people questions, like, and think you know everything. That's the main thing I was trying to get at. Like, just because I made it to the league don't mean I don't ask you questions. Like, I told them, the boys, like, I get all my rehab shit from Instagram. Like, I get
yeah,
all my shit from there, and then asking people questions. Like, I get my programs, not my programs, but I get like certain exercises and stuff from the dude Matt I was telling you that I train with in Miami. Like, I be asking him questions. I asked him about basically like how to set up or when to start training with the boys. Like, because I was like, after the season, like, should they get a whole week rest? Should they get 2 weeks rest? Should they get a month rest? Like, when can I start back up? And he was like telling me stuff like, no, they can start back up right away. And then I was just thinking about like, yeah, that's right. Like, because they're not like older. Like me, I need a week off or whatever. Like now they can get back right back into it. But he was like, start light. Like he was like, make the first week like an intro week, just super light, super easy stuff. But it's like at the end of the day, like I know a program that worked for me or whatever, and I know like certain shit I did in high school or college or the league, but it's like I still want to ask questions. Like it don't matter what I think I know. Like if I feel like I need to ask it, if I'm not sure, I'm gonna ask the question. I don't care who it is. Like I don't have no problem with asking people questions. And I don't ever think I want to know everything. Like when people try to come train and they're like they're quarterbacks or they're D line or running backs or even linebackers. Like I teach linebackers like certain shit, but it's like I can't teach you everything as a linebacker because I don't know. That's why I be reverting them to you. Or I tell them like if you want to train as a quarterback, like I can get your footwork off your feet, like right,
Yeah.
but like I can't teach you how to play quarterback, bro. I
Yeah,
could
don't
tell
come
you
over here
like
trying to ask about some
that
mechanics.
timing, yeah, like that timing is bad because I know like I covered where quarterbacks have thrown on time and shit. I can tell you certain things, but I can't make you a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, so just understand that shit. But like that's the thing that people gotta understand. Like, ask questions. Don't feel like you know everything, no matter what experience you have. Like, it's always something out there that you don't know and that you can get better at for sure. But
Yeah.
so I want to kind of transition into what we was talking about with the making personal changes and being honest with yourself. Like a lot of people, I won't even say a lot of people because I don't even be knowing a lot of people, but like people that just be like not being honest with themselves, and that's one of the most annoying things to me because like I'm super honest with myself, like, and that's the reason why I feel like I've excelled in areas that I've excelled in because I was always honest with myself. Like I never lied to myself. And what's crazy is I was a liar. Like I was a compulsive liar towards like other people. Like I feel like I got that from my father. Like just manipulation and lying and doing shit like that. But one thing I never did was lie to my fucking self. Like anytime I was shitty, like I was hard on myself in high school when I played bad, or even if we won a game and football and I played bad or I didn't get no action, like I just felt like I didn't win myself. Like, yeah, the team, I wouldn't take nothing from the team, but it's just like I was hard on myself. I was honest with myself. I tell people all the time, like at Ohio State, the year we won the national championship, like I didn't play good as a corner. Like that's why I ended up not like playing the rest of the season after I started one game because I played bad. But that year I played special teams only. Like, yeah, I felt good because I won a championship with the team and I had roles on special teams that helped the team win and shit. But I didn't really play defense or corner, so I felt like I didn't win that championship as much as like everybody thinks I did. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like at that point, it's just like still I'm honest with myself. Like I'm hard on myself. I put pressure on myself to be better. Like anything I feel like I could have done better, I'm gonna make sure I tell myself like I need to do this better. I did this wrong or whatever. Like so people gotta really understand like being honest with yourself is gonna make people around you better, one. And but then like it makes you I feel like it makes me go harder. I don't know how it would make everybody else feel, but being honest with myself would make me go harder because I know I can't make an excuse or blame somebody else because it's like I know that it's my mistake. It's something on me that nobody else can control. Only I can control it, so I have to get better at it. Or you can choose not to. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get your thoughts on that, like with people being honest with themselves. Like how does it help them, or do you think like there's something why? Let me ask you that. Like, do you think there's something why people aren't honest with themselves?
I think it's just the in my opinion, I think it's just the fear of knowing you're not doing what you should be doing. Like I think that's the thing too. Like when people don't want to be honest with themselves, I feel like because they know they're not doing the right thing, and it's like that. I can't even describe it, but it's like that feeling of just knowing, like, fuck it, I'm gonna just be like, I'm doing good, knowing I'm really not. But it's because you
Yeah,
don't want that feeling of like rejection, that feeling of just being like a failure. Because
failure. Yeah,
I hate to say it, because you really are failing this whatever you may be doing, and I think people be like, oh damn, I didn't work out today, but that's okay because I'm still strong. Like, no, bro, it's not okay. Or, oh, I didn't do this. Or like, no, like I think people just don't want that feeling of like failure and rejection. And I think
mm,
in that being humbled in the sense that kind of makes sense.
yeah. Kind
But
of
I
like
think too,
embarrassed.
yeah, like an embarrassment, like just that
Yeah,
feeling of just embarrassment, rejection, all of that, just being a failure. So they rather just lie to themselves. In reality, all you're doing is just stacking up bad moments. And I think that's the problem too. Like, bro, you have to be honest with yourself. And that's one thing I had to do. Like, shit. I remember. I don't even think you remember. Like, it was like the beginning of November. I was like beating myself up because it was just like, bro. Like, I just sat and was just honest with myself. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing good in school. I'm not doing good here. And it was, and I kind of beat myself up bad about it. But it was just like I had to be honest with myself. And it was like, and I was honest with myself too, because in all these areas, I know I can be great in, but I'm bullshitting and slacking at. And it was just like, and then you had texted me, it was just like, man, I hope you're doing good, da da da. But it was just like that day, it was just like, man, like I was like, but it was like in that moment, I was just sitting in the car. I just got off work and I was sitting in the car and I was just thinking, but it was just like I can't sit here and mope about it. Like I need to fix it. So it was like, boom, I just got on my shit. Ever since then, I went and bought 2 notebooks, bro, and I just wrote down all the different things, all my weaknesses, all the things I was bad at. And that moment there, it was just, I stayed on top of everything since then. I've been doing so much better with everything that I need to work on. But it was just that feeling of just, like I said, bro, I was just sitting in the car and I was just thinking, and in my thoughts, like, I'm like, bro, I'm doing bad. And not in nobody else's expectations, in my own expectations for myself. And I think that's what people get mixed up too. People's expectations and their own expectations of, how they view themselves and what they want their, life to be. But it was like, I think it's that feeling of being embarrassed and feeling like a failure, because in your own eyes, now I want to say it like that, but shit, you are failing. If you have to lie to yourself to make yourself feel good, then you are.
You failing for sure.
Yeah, but I had to really be real with myself, and people need to learn to be real with themselves too, bro. And it sucks, like, and it sucks, because that feeling sucks, bro. But it does. But I feel like in order to grow, in order to, prosper and get where you want to get in life, you have to go through all these different emotions. And that's another subject, of course. But I just feel like, being honest, like, you're going to go through certain emotions too. But and that's normal, bro. Like, I just think people think certain feelings and emotions and experiences and all that's not normal, bro, because again, and that's a whole nother topic, of course, but when you go into like the social media shit, people feel like, feeling certain way and the certain emotions you're going through, certain shit's not normal, bro. That's life. That's reality. That's how life is, bro. So be honest with yourself in order to heal yourself, I feel like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then now, like, with social media, with cameras, with everything being out, that sense of embarrassment is height. It's like to an all-time high of like not wanting that feeling. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it gets to the point where, like, you gotta understand, like, to care about yourself more than you care about other people's opinion of you. Like, cause like I'll be telling the boys all the time, like, y'all be so worried about being embarrassed that y'all don't play techniques right, or like go hard, or like do the shit y'all supposed to do. Just do the shit that y'all train to do. Like, y'all niggas train and y'all work hard. Like, yeah, I'll be telling y'all, like, y'all need to get more reps and y'all need to work harder. But y'all have done shit and gotten better. I've seen it. But it's like, once y'all get in the game, or not even a game, once y'all get in a live rep, like we do a 1-on-1 and there's people there, if we do 7-on-7 or whatever, it's like y'all get a sense of like, I don't want to get embarrassed, rather than just playing my game and get training. Like, so I have to be telling them, like, nigga, I've gotten mossed. I've got broke off. Like, I've got ran over. Like, I don't care. Like, y'all niggas is doing it in front of, 20 people at practice. Y'all doing the shit in front of, 5,000? Man, I don't even know if they get 5,000 at a game in high school, but 5,000 people, you know what I'm saying, at a game. Like, I've got embarrassed in front of 110,000 people, nigga. Like, that shit don't mean
national
nothing.
TV,
like,
for real. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, national TV, biggest games, like championship games, stuff on the line. Like, you got to play the next play. You got to worry about the shit that you good at, that you've been training to do. Like, don't be worrying about fucking what people about to say, or people going to like make a post about you or whatever. Like, I think that's at an all-time high right now, that people need to understand, to like not give a fuck about. Like, shit's gonna happen regardless. Like, the shit's gonna be filmed or something, but it's just like, you worried about that shit too much. And I'll be giving examples to them all the time. Like, if somebody guarding somebody and they break them off at the line, everybody get to screaming and doing all that little screaming shit, and then the nigga dropped the ball. Just like, nigga, he lost the game. Like, why are y'all so worried about what he did at the line of scrimmage, or why y'all so worried about that he broke him off? That shit just be so annoying. They get to screaming and doing all that shit. I'm like, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, if we doing a drill and releases and you break them off or something, like, okay, I understand. But like we doing a one-on-one, you break them off, yeah, you gonna say so, oh shit. Like I say the shit too, but then it's like, all right, now I'm watching to see if he gonna make the play. If he don't make the play, then it's like, what the fuck do that mean? Like, but
Yeah.
then the people on defense, like that got broke off or whatever, it's just like they so worried about that they got broke off, they stop or they just don't finish the play or whatever. It's like, nah, you could still end up finishing the play and then not be worried about the people that over there laughing or whatever. Like that shit just so annoying, bro.
Bro.
But
And it's
again, like
like,
that shit is at an all-time high for sure.
and then with stuff
Embarrassment.
like that, like, bruh, figure out why you lost. Not, nigga, don't worry about other people's
Exactly.
opinions. Nigga, figure out why you lost. Figure out why
Yeah.
you're going through that, experience. Figure out why you're going through that experience instead of worrying about people's opinions. And you just sat there and
Yeah.
was in your feelings because the other niggas, so now you about to go up again and get embarrassed twice. Because
Right,
you didn't want to
exactly.
learn from the experience. Like,
Exactly.
bruh, like their logic's a thing. And that's why, again, like I love talking to them because I be wanting to hear their thoughts, but
Yeah,
half the
why they
time
be
when they
thinking
tell
shit.
you about why they reacted away or said a certain thing, they can't even tell you why. And I'm
They don't
like,
even know.
nigga, so you
Yeah.
didn't even think about what you did. You just did it. Like, come on, bro. Like, but they're
Yeah.
hilarious, bro. I love working with kids, bro, because like just to pick their brain, bro. I'd be like, nigga, what?
Yeah, they fried. But then even other areas like of embarrassment, like just like you said, like failure and just like lying to yourself so you make you feel better or something like that. Like again, like you're not a failure, but you're failing. Like you need to be honest with yourself if you're doing that shit. Because why would you even just want to keep stacking up lies to yourself? Like because at the end of the day, that's just gonna blow up at some point. You don't want it to be down the road where you get to a job where you need to have, or you trying to make money and you need to pay for your bills, or you have kids or whatever, and you still lying to yourself, and then it hurts somebody else that you really care about. You know what I'm saying? Because the shit will start to trickle. Like the person you are, we're here to serve a purpose for other people. Like we're here to give back. We're here to give to others. Like we're here to serve other people, not just ourselves. So at the end of the day, at some point in time, if you just lying to yourself, you're gonna hurt somebody that you care about that's in your life. Like so people need to really understand, like you need to be honest with yourself. Like don't be scared to fail. And if you are failing, like just address it. Like do something about it. Because nobody's gonna do it for you. So it's like you gotta do something about it. But don't just lie to yourself because that's just gonna make it worse in the long run. For sure.
And two, I feel like when people, just real quick, I feel like when people lie so much to themselves and try to create this fake narrative of who they are, they lose themselves, bro. And I didn't see so many people really lose their self. I don't want to say so many people, but I didn't see people honestly lose themselves because they lied and tried to paint this picture of who they weren't. They lost
Yeah.
themselves, bro. And then at the when it really came down to it, and all those people weren't around no more, they were lost and they didn't know who they were, bro. And they were lost and they were just lost in this world of damn, I gotta really discover who I am. I have to really learn who I am. So I think, bro, just be who you are. And if you're around people who don't accept who you are, you're just around the wrong people. And that's one thing I be liking about Abube. Like I be messing with him a little bit, but like he's himself. Like he don't care
Always.
about nobody's opinions. He might be like, man, whatever. But he don't care, bro. He's gonna be himself. And
Yeah.
that's one thing I love about him, bro. And you don't see kids who do that. They don't
Yeah.
know how to be themselves. And that's why I always tell like little dudes, like when I be back home training, I be like, bro, I'm lame. I ain't
Yeah.
cool. Because because that's me, like I'm being me. And that's one thing I
Right.
just be trying to like put in their heads, install into them, like be you. Like people are
Oh, yeah.
naturally gonna follow after you because you're being yourselves. People, that's what people, and if people don't, you're just around some niggas who don't know themselves as well. So you don't even want to be
Exactly.
around them, bro. So that's
Right.
one thing too. And bro, like who really, what's the expectation? Like how do you, and I think that's too, like people don't know. And I learned that too. I feel like we go down the road and sometimes we don't know if we're doing right or doing wrong. So like
Mhm.
because we don't have the proper like guidance or proper, knowing the proper instructions or the footsteps to follow after. So I feel like sometimes when you're going down the road or the journey, you get lost because like you be like, damn, am I doing something right? So then like you
Mhm.
might ask your homeboy like, bro, is this right? And they ain't even doing this shit or
Right.
doing nothing with themselves, and they be like, nah, bro, you shouldn't be doing that. So then you get to question
Yeah.
it. And that's one thing I even used to do, bro. Like because like I've never had the guidance or the proper footsteps to follow in certain journeys in my life. because I didn't
Yeah.
have nobody to teach me certain things. So it was like, okay, boom, okay, I'm doing this, but am I doing it right? And I seek advice or feedback from people, and they be like, no, you ain't doing it right. But they wouldn't tell me why I wasn't doing it right. So I had to learn, like, bro, if you're gonna, and yes, I did go to them, but if I learned too, if you can't give me a solution to my problem, then you can't help me.
Right.
And I shouldn't be listening to your feedback, because yeah, you giving me feedback, and it might be feedback that I need to hear, but give me a solution to the feedback, bro.
Right.
Or I
Or
shouldn't
point
be
me in a
listening to you,
direction.
because now you just telling me wrong shit. So now I'm in my head and I'm overthinking shit. And I've listened to people's opinions and what they told me I was doing wrong, and I have no solutions now. Like,
Right.
no, fuck that. I
Yeah.
might as well keep on going and wait until I run into somebody that can tell me why I'm doing this wrong or doing this the incorrect way, and they can give me a solution to my problem. And I think that's
Right.
the thing too, bro. Stop asking your homeboy who ain't even experienced.
Ain't doing
Like,
shit.
that's the
Yeah.
problem too, bro. Like,
And then people like the people who are giving the feedback, like you said, if it's a homeboy or whatever, like if you don't have a solution, like if you know somebody that can help the solution or help the problem, like and find a solution, point me in the direction of that, or explain that like I'm not the right person to ask. So like one thing I do, like so people be telling me it was a random dude too in the comments. He had said I had comment on like an NFL post, and then he was just like, yo, I'm a big fan of you, whatever. He was like, he's like, long shot, I'm like, can you check out my music? And I be looking at shit like that, and I just be like, I be trying to like engage with fans and shit and people that just showing positivity. So I went to his page and I like listened to some of his music, and I was just like, it's not my type of music. So I had comment back. I said, your shit is cool, like it's all right, like because it was like flowing cool, like the beat or whatever, the
yeah,
production. But I was like, I don't listen to this type of music, like so I'm like, I'm not the good person to ask or the right person to ask my opinion on it. But I was just like, if you ask people that like listen to this style of music or try to find people who like are big on music, then like you should ask them or whatever. So it's just like at that point in time, it's like I could have just been like, oh, that shit ass, or it's like I don't fuck
yeah,
with it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like if you don't know the solution, obviously tell them you don't know and point them in the direction where they should go for a solution or for help. You know what I'm saying? Like people be going to people like you said that don't even have a solution or don't even know nothing about what they're doing because they don't even know what they're doing with their self. So it's like they're not even help you at all. And then like you said, people get in their head or get unmotivated or whatever. So it's like you got to go to the people that will help, and then always like try to find a way to help the person if you are giving the feedback. Like if you don't know something, like I said, don't be scared to tell them you don't know. Or if you don't like something, that's too. Don't be scared to tell them you don't like it. Or like you said, like if they'll tell me if I'm not doing something right, yeah. But and then also give me motivation to like do better on what I can do. You know what I'm saying? Like
man.
don't just tell me like you ain't doing this right. Like no, you shouldn't be doing that. Or like tell them like, man, I think you should do this way. Or like maybe you should ask this person how to do this. Or like, yeah, remember this dude? He used to train. Like you should probably go see how he started training and what helped him. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be that person that just give negative feedback and don't try to actually help or motivate. And then the people that are asking and seeking out from the people that ain't doing that shit, like fuck them. Like go find somebody else. And then that's like my thing, my biggest thing on like what I always say, what I want to like transition to is find a fucking way, bro. Like that is my biggest thing. Like whenever I can't figure something out, like I just find a way. I challenge myself so hard to find a way. And even if I can't get it that day, that week, that month, that year, I'm going to still try to find a fucking way. Like it is my responsibility to find a way if I can't find a solution from somebody or from some place. I need to just find a way. Like don't make no excuses. Like and it's a little example, but it's a big example for me and it's how I create different environments for myself. When I do crossword puzzles, when I do like wordscapes and shit like that, I try so hard not to use hints. Like I try to just think like of a word. I try to think of something that I could think of for to find the crossword or to find the anagram or whatever I'm doing. And then if I need a hint, like yeah, I'll use a hint, but I still will try to find it like within the hint. I won't go to Google and try to get the word. I won't try to do and it's like a little thing, but it's something that helps me like just challenge myself to do it. Like I always try to find a way. And if I can't get like the crossword puzzle, like in 10 minutes or 20 minutes or hour, like I would just go back the next day. And then cause like your mind refreshes. So then like the next day, you'll be looking at it and you'll find a word as soon as you open it. Like I've done that shit. What I think it was like 2 days ago. I was working on a crossword puzzle for 3 days, bro. And like the time when you close the app, it like closes the time down. But it ended up saying 3 hours, like because it shows you how long you're taking. And I've done them in like 4 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes,
Yeah.
an hour. That was the longest I ever took. It was like 3 hours. Like I signed back in, it said 3 hours or 10 minutes, and I still couldn't get the word when I signed back in. Then the next day I went again, and it was like 3 hours and 56 minutes. And then I ended up finding a word as soon as I got in it, like that next day. And that was what, like 4 days later. But just like I'm still trying to find a way. Like I'm not making excuses to not find it. I'm not trying to cheat the system or whatever. Like I'm just gonna find a way, try to find a way. And I know it's like I said again, that's a little thing, like that may not be serious to people, but that's something that helped me like in a bigger picture. Like I'm always gonna try to find a way.
And that's a mental dub. Like it might seem so little, but that's a mental dub. That's a good habit you started, and like people don't be understanding that shit. Like, bruh, get them dubs. Like it don't matter how big, how little things, that shit all adds up. It all creates good habits, bruh. That's one thing I learned too.
Yeah, the little things, man, for sure. People gotta worry about them little dubs, like you said.
Collect them. And real quick to go back to what you said real quick about just telling people like to ask questions, like to find the help. And two, I think and on the other sense, if you know, bruh, I don't get this with people. If you know something, teach it to somebody. Man, like I can't stand, bro, when people hold in information. Like if you know, teach that shit to somebody. Why hold it in, bro? You don't get nothing. You don't get no cool points. I can't stand when somebody be like, "Oh, I ain't giving a game." Nigga, that ain't game.
What?
Nigga.
That's weird.
Help somebody. I think people don't understand, bro. We're put here to bless people with blessings. Like, bro, and that's one thing I learned. Like, I always want to be able to bless people with my blessings. Anything I know, bro, and anything in life, I'm telling people. I don't get shit from hiding it. I don't build up or grow more when I don't tell people, bro. You learn and you build more when you tell people, bro. Exactly. You learn more. I love being able to tell somebody something, bro. Like, and that's one thing, bro, I learned too. Like, bro, if somebody, and to kind of go back to asking questions again, if you are asking questions and they don't want to give you the game, you're just asking the wrong person. Like you're just asking the wrong person, bro. Like I remember, bro, when I first started training, I was reaching out for help, bro, because I didn't know, and I was reaching out to people like all around the world, and it was certain people that I weren't responding back. And you know, luckily, bro, and I was blessed to be able to meet this man. I met Chuck Smith. Remember, I was telling you about the trainer in Atlanta. Yeah. And I remember, bro, I hit him up on Instagram. I seen he was in Madison, bro. I hit him up quick. Hey, what? Like, hey, I wonder if I can come watch you train. And I didn't even think bro was gonna hit me back because like bro, like he a legend like football, like he's a vet, like he's been put years in. So I didn't even think bro was gonna respond, honestly. And he ended up responding, bro. And I remember I got there and he was surprised that I even showed up. And he was like, man, what you want to know? Like, what can I help you with? And I remember I asked bro hella questions. And he gave advice and tips, like not only was telling me stuff, but he was visually showing me shit. Like, so I was like, okay, like he really cares to teach me. And I remember, bro, he was like, I'm based in Atlanta. Whenever you're in Atlanta, like, let me know. Bro, I went to Atlanta, bro, hit him up quick. And he was open arms, bro, like to teach me shit and to show me stuff. He had, his pro guys in there. He was in there slowing down his training. I kid you not, to show me stuff. And I'm like, bro, this is dope. This is a dope experience, bro. And I say all that just to say, bro, find the people that will give game and find the people that will teach you, bro. And like, he didn't have to, bro. Like, and I was a person now, like I didn't know him then, but like now I look up to on the training side because of, not because of his status, but just because of the success and the goals and the things that he achieved within life as a player, as a trainer. And now, bro, like, bro, coaches for the Baltimore Ravens. And it was like, just now I have that connection with him, bro, all of just asking the question. Like that shit's big, and I don't think people understand that, bro. Like all because I asked this man a question. Like now I have a resource to go to, and not saying like it's whatever, nothing, but like that's big, bro. That's a network, bro. Like all of it just asking a question, bro. So ask questions if you need to ask questions with shit, bro, because you never know where that question can take you.
Like just be honest with yourself and with anything. Be honest with each other. Like that's the biggest thing. Like you said, we're all here to serve, like to give our blessings to other people. Like don't hold that shit in. Just be honest. And then 9 times out of 10, like somebody, I mean, not even 9 times out of 10, 100%, somebody else somewhere knows is exactly what you know. Like, we all got
Man.
access to the same shit and learned it some type of way. Like, so somebody somewhere knows what you know. So what's wrong with giving the game to somebody? Like, they're just gonna find it. They may find it later or whatever, but they're gonna find
Man.
it at some point. You're not the only
And
one that
somebody
knows
taught
what you
your
know.
ass the shit that
You
you know.
know what I'm
Like,
saying? Like,
nigga, you
somebody
didn't learn
knows
that on
what
your
you
own.
know.
Somebody taught you,
Exactly.
nigga.
So just give back, man. Bless people with your blessings, like he said, for sure.
And I hope everybody who watches this gains that, you know, build and create experiences, be honest with yourself and be honest with the people around you. And ask questions, like he said, bro. Ask questions and be a blessing to other people, bro. Stop being so mean. Stop being so stingy, bro. Be kind and respectful to people and be a blessing. And that's how you get your blessings. And that's how you live a more peaceful life, bro.
Hell yeah.